Now let's dive into a bit of unusual activity. Now, if you're new to the show, you know that Pete and I are talking about stocks and the catalysts that are moving these stocks. And occasionally we talk about the unusual accumulation of calls, which would be bullish, or puts, which would be bearish. Well, today, $6.7 billion takeover of Arcadium Lithium. This is, of course, what you're looking at on the screen there. The 9th of September, we saw those 250 calls being bought. That gives you the right to buy it at $2.50. As you see here, the stock jumped in the pre-market pretty dramatically, over 30%. So at $5.50, that's $3 above the $2.50 level. So that means that 10-cent investment went to $3. So that's 30x, folks, 30x. It's not 10x. That's why I'm not wearing my 10x hat. It's not 20x. It's 30x. And Pete was talking about this one when we saw this activity first hitting, right, Pete?
Yep, we talked about it then, and we also talked about it on Monday, John. We talked about how Rio Tinto was kicking the tires. They were talking about somewhere between $4 billion and $6 billion. I know that's a wide range. By the way, it was above that wide range, $6.7 billion on this takeover. It's cash, John. This is a magnificent move to the upside. 585 is the level in which they're willing to pay per share. But this is an incredible run to the upside. And we've talked about this before, but critical minerals that are out there, that is something that we know is going to be very, very active, not just in this one stock, but I think in others as well. So I think we all ought to be paying attention to the materials, the minerals, and all of that we see out there. I think there are opportunities that are going to continue to come up, and I think we're going to see even more of this kind of M&A, which is why we like those big investment banks that are out there, John, the ones that really are cruising. Why are they cruising? Goldman Sachs and Citi and Bank of America and JP Morgan. Well, because of the fact that part of their business is absolutely on fire. This is a great example of that.
Well, and as you pointed out to me, Pete, we have unusual activity again today. They're buying the 550 calls in April. Now, again, I'll belabor this just this much, folks. None of these deals close like that.
Right.
It takes probably 6 months for most of these deals that we talk about to get finalized. Why? Well, because the government has to approve it, Federal Trade Commission, depending on which sector of the market we're talking about, the banks or whatever. In this case, I think it's going to be interesting to watch them maneuver. And as they maneuver, Pete, somebody else could try to swoop in. That's why somebody else is buying these 550 calls out in April. So they want November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 months. How much did I say? 6 months. Somebody wants to be all the way out there 6 months into the future.